Welcome to the Wisdom Path, ones. What I'm going to say may surprise and possibly shock you. If you're seeing this video right now, it's not by chance. God has sent you here for a purpose, because something significant is occurring in your life. You were picked for a purpose. Yes, you heard me correctly. God has proclaimed you the chosen one. Your trip is about to take a heavenly turn. What you've been praying for, hoping for, and waiting for is no longer just a distant dream. They're already entering your world. This is not merely a mental adjustment. This is a spiritual and energy metamorphosis. As a chosen one, you'll begin to see things falling into place at a pace that will leave you dumbfounded. However, you must grasp how this works in order to completely embrace this profound change and actualize your wishes. Before we get into this life-changing lesson, pause the video and complete 3 things. Hit the like button, subscribe to help us achieve 30,000 subscribers, then write a comment with the number 11. This number will send a strong signal to the cosmos, boosting the energy in this movie. And remember, if you are genuinely a chosen one, you will watch this video all the way through because your soul knows it is for you. If you're not prepared to accept this fact, you may not make it to the finish. However, for those that do, their lives will never be the same. Now let's get started. God designated you the chosen one for a purpose. Have you been through any trials? It may seem that life has hurled one hurdle after another at you, leaving you wounded, beaten, and wondering why you have to go through so much misery. What if these hardships are divine appointments rather than obstacles? What if each difficulty is a step toward being the person you were intended to be? The trials for the selected ones are not random. They are the same instruments God uses to shape your character, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for bigger things. Every adversity you've faced teaches you to be strong and resilient. God is using these hardships to shape you into a vessel of His love, strength, and grace. As the refining fire burns away impurities, you emerge stronger, smarter, and better prepared to handle whatever comes next. These tests of faith are not intended to break you, but rather to strengthen you, pull you closer to His heart, and reveal the depths of His purpose for your life. Accept these trials as proof that you have been selected. The world may not comprehend your path, yet it is divinely designed in ways beyond human understanding. Trust in the process, for in these times of tragedy, you are being shaped into a beacon of hope and a monument to God's unending love. The furnace of tribulation produces a holy refining. Consider the heat, pressure, and agony that come with gold refining. However, it is in the fire that the gold becomes pure, gleaming brilliantly, and ready for its ultimate use. You, the chosen one, are no different. The trials you endure are not intended to harm you, but rather to cleanse you and form you into the person God intended you to be. Each difficulty you confront has a purpose in your spiritual development. You may not see it right now, but know that God is developing you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the task ahead. The agony you endure now will become the power you use tomorrow. The strength you get from suffering will not only boost you, but will also inspire others who are on similar journeys. Refinement entails removing the old, the unneeded, and the responsibilities that bind you down. The goal is to become the best version of yourself. And although the process may be unpleasant, realize that God is with you every step of the way, guiding, purifying, and directing you toward a larger purpose. You are being prepped for greatness, and that greatness is the product of the trials you face. When misfortune comes, it's tempting to think God has abandoned you. But the reality is He is right there with you through every storm. His goal is bigger than any temporary setback. God strengthens you through hardship, not in spite of, but because of the challenges. The obstacles you confront are designed to push you, help you develop resilience, and provide a solid foundation. Resilience is a trait that cannot be developed without challenge. Consider a tree that holds solid in a storm. The wind may rock it, but its roots are deep, and it stands tall in the face of the most powerful gusts. This is what God is developing inside you. When faced with adversity, you must have a deep, unshakable strength that will resist any trials that arise. Remember that with every setback, God is preparing you for the wonderful things He has planned for you. Trust in God's plan. He's not punishing you. He's prepping you. You're being formed into someone who is strong, tough, and capable of conquering any challenge. This supernatural power will be the cornerstone of your future, enabling you to remain steady, not only for yourself, but as a living example to others. Endurance is more than simply surviving. It's about getting through difficulties. Faith is the key to unlocking this endurance. When you put your confidence in God, even in the darkest situations, you tap into an unfailing reservoir of strength that will get you through the storm. Endurance through faith implies that you do not give up when circumstances become difficult. You ascend. You proceed. You go ahead, certain that God is with you every step of the way. The selected ones do not just withstand adversity. They change it. They convert what others may regard as setbacks into steps forward via faith. What seemed impossible becomes feasible. What seemed to be lost turned out to be a disguised success. And with each adversity, your faith becomes stronger, your foundation deepens, and your determination is unwavering. Your faith is a live manifestation of God's presence in your life. It is a light that shines brightly even in the darkest of circumstances, guiding those who have lost hope. When you endure with faith, you do not just survive. You climb above, encouraging people around you to do the same. Your life is a holy adventure, divinely designed with aim and purpose. It isn't a succession of random occurrences or chance meets. Every person you meet, every minute you live, is part of a larger plan. This precious journey is unique to you, and you are the only one who can complete it. Accept the road that God has set out for you. This path reveals your spiritual destiny. However, the path may not always be simple. Believe that it is perfectly meant to help you develop, learn, and accomplish your mission. The difficulties you confront are not interruptions, but rather vital to your development. With each step, you become closer to your actual self and the calling God has for your life as the chosen one. You are on a road toward greatness. It may not always be simple, but remember that every twist and turn, difficulty, and success is part of a larger plan. You are precisely where you are supposed to be, and your path will inspire and encourage all who watch it. It is never easy to lose a loved one, a career, or a dream. The suffering is genuine, but for the selected, defeat is not the end. It's an important aspect of the trip. Every loss gives an opening for something fresh to enter your life. It is a stepping stone, not a setback. Loss removes things that are no longer useful to you, and you allow God to accomplish His purpose in your life. Loss fosters resilience. It teaches you to trust God's plan, even if you don't comprehend it. When you experience loss, realize that God is shaping you into the person He has called you to be. Your grief now will one day serve as a witness to others, encouraging them to rise again. The selected ones are not afraid of defeat. They accept it as part of their evolution. They understand that with every loss, there is gain, and in every ending, there is a fresh start. Trust that your losses are not in vain, but rather part of the sacred path that will bring you closer to your divine mission. When faith is challenged, it is at its most strong. When everything is going well, it is simple to believe, but when things are tough, your faith is fashioned into something unbreakable. The chosen ones are those whose faith endures even when the weight of the world rests on their shoulders. They do not bend. They do not break. Instead, they stand upright, certain that God would supply, lead, and maintain them. When life puts pressure on you, you understand that God's almighty hand is strengthening you. Pressure does not crush the chosen. It refines them. It makes them sharper, getting them ready for the fantastic things that are coming. The hardships you endure today are not intended to defeat you, but to prepare you for the future that God has promised. Your story of faith under adversity serves as a light for others. It demonstrates that no matter what life throws at you, faith can get you through. You become a living example of God's strength, proving that genuine resilience is found in believing Him completely, regardless of the circumstances. As a chosen one, your existence has more than simply personal meaning. It has the ability to inspire and lead others. Your actions, words, and mere presence serve as a source of hope for people around you. Whether you know it or not, others are following your trip, hoping for a sign, a bit of wisdom, or a spark of inspiration to help them discover their own path. Your testimony includes the struggles you face, the achievements you gain, and how you deal with adversity. You may not realize it right now, but each challenge and accomplishment is transforming you into someone people can go to for advice and strength. You are a living example of endurance, faith, and confidence in God's plan. Your life exemplifies the power of divine purpose. When you accept your calling, you become not just a light on your own journey, but also a beacon for others to follow. It's important to remember that your acts, no matter how tiny, have the potential to change lives. Your generosity, intelligence, and capacity to persevere in the face of adversity will encourage others to keep moving ahead. The world needs your light more than you know. Your tale might be just what someone else needs to hear, to find the courage to persevere. One of the most significant blessings bestowed to the chosen one is divine clarity and insight. These supernatural inspirations are like breadcrumbs that lead you to your ultimate goal. You may feel as if you are traveling in the dark at times, but believe that God has already lighted your path in ways you are not aware of. He gives insights that are not necessarily loud or clear, but are always profound and revolutionary. These moments of heavenly insight often occur in meditation, prayer, thought, or silent surrender. As a chosen one, you are sensitive to the tiny whispers of advice that others may miss. God communicates to those who listen with their hearts, are open to His guidance, and are prepared to step out in trust. The insights you get help you comprehend your purpose and prepare you to make choices that are in line with His divine plan. When you get heavenly insights, keep in mind that they are intended to benefit others as well as you. These discoveries will enable you to impart knowledge, advise others, and serve as a beacon of light for those seeking answers. Your relationship with God offers you a distinct viewpoint, and it is through this heavenly lens that you may guide others to satisfaction and serenity. As a chosen one, you are asked to live a life of purpose, which often necessitates challenging choices about where to direct your time, energy, and resources. Setting boundaries does not mean shutting people out. It is about preserving your divine calling and making sure that all you do is in line with God's plan for your life. Boundaries are essential for keeping your energy, sustaining your concentration, and being loyal to your goal in a world that continuously demands more of your time and attention. It's easy to lose sight of what genuinely matters, but setting clear limits sends a strong message that your goal comes first. This allows you to devote more time to your spiritual development, personal well-being, and the task God has called you to. Boundaries help you respect your connection with God and yourself, preventing burnout while carrying out your divine purpose. Remember that establishing limits is an expression of self-respect. You value your time, energy, and purpose. Don't feel bad about saying no if it means saying yes to what matters most as the chosen one. Your time is valuable, and each moment is a chance to connect your activities with your greater purpose. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. It is a holy location where you may communicate with God. Reflect on your purpose to get clarity on the route ahead. In the midst of daily activities, it's easy to lose touch with your inner self and the heavenly voice that speaks to you. Solitude gives the stillness necessary to hear God's words, reflect on your path, and realign yourself with His purpose for the chosen ones. Solitude is a blessing. These peaceful periods provide you with the fortitude to tackle life's obstacles, as well as the insight to manage your road in isolation. You may spend time processing your experience while praying and renewing your sense of purpose. These moments of silence are not wasted time. They are moments of heavenly connection that prepare you for the tasks ahead. Remember, even Jesus went to seclusion to pray and get insight. He recognized the value of time alone with God. Similarly, as the chosen one, you must prioritize quiet time to think, recharge, and hear God's message more clearly. It is at these times that you find calm, direction, and fresh strength to face the difficulties ahead. As a chosen one, you are not expected to live a life of peaceful insignificance. Your goal is to live a purposeful life and make an effect on the world in ways that only you can. This divine mission has been laid before you, and it will be realized via your deeds, faith, and devotion. Living with purpose implies that everything you do, from your relationships to your work to how you serve others, is in line with God's design. Your mission is determined by God's calling on your life rather than by worldly norms. This purpose provides you the fortitude to face adversity, the ability to make sound judgments, and the compassion to sincerely care about others. As you follow your divine mission, you will have a significant impression on others around you, inspiring people to discover their own sense of calling and fulfill their own destiny. The selected ones recognize that their mission is larger than themselves. They are living examples of God's love, and everything they do has an impact. When you live with purpose, you accomplish more than simply improve your own life. You change the lives of others, leaving a legacy that will last long after you are gone. God often talks to His chosen ones via visions and dreams, providing advice, encouragement, and confirmation of their divine purpose. These times of divine revelation bring clarity and guidance, confirming that you are on the correct track, whether in the form of dreams at night or visions when praying. God talks with His chosen people to build and enhance their faith. These supernatural confirmations should not be taken lightly. They are strong messages from God that remind you of your value, purpose, and position in His plan. When you get a vision or a dream that strongly moves your spirit, take some time to think about what it means. God is communicating to you, revealing a glimpse of your future, validating your present path, and urging you to keep going. Remember that visions and dreams are gifts. They provide insight into the divine plan for your life. Embrace them with trust and confidence, knowing that these glimpses into the future are signs of God's active presence in your life, bringing you to the fulfillment of your divine mission as the chosen one. Your very presence has the potential to inspire and motivate everyone around you. You may not know it, but the way you carry yourself, confront obstacles, and live out your religion acts as a light for others. You are a living testament to God's grace, power, and love, and your life inspires others to follow their own divine calling. The selected ones are not just leaders in the usual sense. They lead by example, by living their life in a manner that demonstrates fortitude in the face of hardship and love for others. Your presence may encourage someone who is suffering, give hope to those who are despairing, and demonstrate to others that it is possible to live a purposeful and meaningful life. Finally, your life is more than simply your own adventure. It's about who you inspire along the road. As you walk fearlessly in your divine calling, keep in mind that you are not simply fulfilling your personal mission. You're helping others discover theirs. You are leaving a legacy of empowerment, inspiration, and change. When you fully realize that you have been chosen by God, your perspective on life changes. Knowing that you have a divine mission gives you a feeling of direction, a reason to get up every day with purpose and conviction. This knowledge enables you to confront problems with confidence, knowing that each step you take is a step closer to completing your greater purpose. You aren't wandering aimlessly through life. You're on a quest. Your mission is unique to you, and the Creator carefully created it. This heavenly task is not about perfection, but about trusting, believing, and following His plan. As you accept your mission, you will begin to see how your life is inextricably linked to the world around you. Your actions, words, and choices may have an impact on others in ways that you may never completely comprehend. This realization of your divine purpose enables you to live consciously, making every decision count toward God's plan. Every moment becomes a chance to serve, learn, and develop in line with your larger purpose. The route to realizing your mission is not always simple. It often involves sacrifice, hard effort, and a willingness to step into but the prize is immense. Knowing that you are living in accordance with your divine mission gives your life meaning and importance that is greater than any worldly battle. It gives you a feeling of tranquility, knowing that your life is not just yours, but also a gift to others and the planet. When you accept your divine mission, you transcend the limitations of fear and uncertainty. You enter a life of bravery knowing that you are precisely where you are supposed to be. Each struggle you confront is a step closer to fulfilling the full potential of your calling. The power of understanding your mission is transformational. It empowers you to rise above your circumstances and live a life that is genuinely meaningful. It's easy to get overwhelmed when life throws you a curveball after another. But adversity isn't a curse for the chosen. It's a heavenly chance for progress. Each problem you confront is a training ground for developing your strength, perseverance, and faith through adversity. God shapes you into the person He intended you to be. Every struggle prepares you for something better, transforming you into a vessel capable of carrying out your divine mission with elegance and power. Life's difficulties are meant to strengthen you, not break you. With each challenge, you develop your character, knowledge, and compassion. You learn to trust God's plan even when it doesn't make sense. The more you rely on Him during tough times, the more your faith becomes. Indeed, God's light frequently shines brightest in the darkest of times. The brightest, giving you the fortitude to face challenges. You also realize the value of patience. The difficulties you confront may not vanish quickly, but they serve as reminders of your ability to persevere. Your strength is judged not only by how quickly you overcome adversity, but also by how persistently you cling onto God's promises, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Every triumph, no matter how modest, reinforces the fact that you are capable of overcoming any challenge. Adversity provides strength that is not just beneficial to you. It also serves as a testimony for others. Your capacity to overcome life's challenges motivates people around you to persevere when they want to give up. By demonstrating that it is possible to emerge stronger from challenging circumstances, you become a source of hope and encouragement. Your life becomes a living testament to God's faithfulness and the transformational power of persevering faith. Faith is the key to unlocking your heavenly potential. Without faith, you cannot completely accept the call on your life. When the way ahead is unclear, difficulties seem insurmountable, and the world around you encourages you to give up, faith is the gasoline that keeps you going, the anchor that holds you to God's promises. The selected ones are commanded to walk by faith, not sight. This entails faith in the unseen and believing in God's plan, even when you don't comprehend it. Walking by faith does not imply disregarding reality or pretending that obstacles do not exist. It entails accepting your circumstances while remaining steadfast in the belief that God is in charge. It entails deciding to trust His timetable, even when things don't go as you planned. Walking with faith demands bravery. It entails entering with the assurance that God has already gone before of you and paved the path. It implies making choices based on your beliefs. God is calling you to accomplish something, even if the result is unknown. Faith permits you to act, to step forth, and to go ahead in accordance with God's plan. As you walk in faith, you begin to realize the full extent of your divine potential. Your religion opens the door to opportunities, relationships, and experiences that coincide with your larger purpose. Faith broadens your viewpoint, allowing you to perceive problems as opportunities for development and service. It opens your eyes to the endless possibilities available when you believe in God's purpose for your life. Doubt is a normal part of the human experience, but the selected ones must learn to overcome it and increase their faith in God's plan. Doubt may be a tremendous adversary, leading you to doubt your value, purpose, and even God's promises. However, it is crucial to realize that uncertainty is not the end of the trip. It provides a chance for growth. When uncertainty comes, it is critical to root yourself on God's word and remember His faithfulness. Consider the times He has come through for you in the past and know that He will continue to do so in the future. By increasing your faith in God's character and promises, you may quiet the voice of doubt and believe in His plan for your life. Prayer is a wonderful technique to overcome uncertainty. By seeking God's counsel and wisdom, you welcome Him into your life and allow Him to bring calm and clarity into your heart. When you are hesitant, God's voice may give you the confidence you need to continue forth in trust. Trusting in His plan is choosing to trust that He knows what is best for you, even if you cannot see the big picture. Doubt may arise, but it does not need to define you. The more you learn to trust God in the face of uncertainty, the more confident you will be in His plan. Each step of faith silences doubt and deepens your knowledge of God's plan for your life. Life is full with storms, hardships, crises, and times of unpredictability. These storms, however, provide chances for the chosen ones to deepen their experience of God's serenity. Trusting God in the midst of turmoil does not guarantee a peaceful existence. Rather, it means you may be certain that He will be with you every step of the journey. When you commit your concerns and anxieties to God, you may find peace in the midst of the storm. It is a mystical tranquility that beyond comprehension, a quiet that soothes your heart even while everything else is chaotic. This serenity serves as a reminder that God is in charge and that His plan will always be carried out, even when the waves are strong. You may be certain that God is your anchor and sanctuary. Trusting in God during a storm is choosing to concentrate on His promises rather than the conditions. It means recognizing that He is larger than any obstacle you encounter and putting your confidence in His capacity to get you through the storm. You discover tranquility that will get you through even the most terrible situations. This calm is not a transitory experience. It is a steadfast belief in God's love and faithfulness. As you feel God's serenity among the storm, you become a source of comfort and strength to others. Your serene demeanor in the midst of upheaval might encourage people around you to completely trust God and experience His serenity as well. Your tale of finding calm in the midst of a storm serves as a poignant reminder of God's capacity to carry us through life's obstacles. Gratitude is one of the most effective weapons that God's chosen ones may employ to connect with His purpose. When you nurture a grateful heart, you change your attention away from what you lack and onto what you have. This adjustment in perspective enables you to perceive God's hand in all aspects of your life, especially during difficult times. Gratitude helps you see the numerous benefits you have, which builds your confidence and trust in God's provision. Living with appreciation does not imply disregarding adversity or pretending everything is fine. It entails appreciating God's kindness, even amid tough circumstances. When you decide to be appreciative, you welcome God's presence to your circumstance, and that presence gives calm, pleasure, and clarity. Gratitude is an expression of faith. It is a proclamation that you believe God will work everything out for your benefit. A heart of appreciation also strengthens your connection with God. When you show appreciation, you are acknowledging that all you have comes from Him. This cultivates an attitude of humility and submission, enabling you to completely accept your divine purpose. Gratitude elevates everyday moments to holy ones, making every day an occasion to praise God for His goodness. When you live in thankfulness, you learn to perceive the divine purpose in all circumstances. Gratitude leads to bigger gifts and connects your heart with God's desire. It turns your mentality from poverty to plenty, preparing you to accept whatever God has in store for you. When God calls you, it's more than simply completing a job. It's about becoming the person you were always intended to be. The divine call is to be the finest version of oneself. God's plan for you is not static, nor are you. As you walk in His calling, He refines and shapes you. This transition often entails discarding old behaviors, ideas, and limits, embracing fresh perspectives, and pursuing a greater purpose. Transformation is never simple. It needs suffering, progress, and the resolve to face your flaws. However, God does not call you to change without first preparing you for it via each hardship. He gives you the power, insight, and grace you need to thrive. The journey of becoming who you were intended to be might be challenging, but it is always rewarding. Through this metamorphosis, you become a more effective conduit for God's purpose, capable of profoundly impacting others. This divine metamorphosis involves not just human growth, but also a deeper connection with God. As you develop and evolve, you're more in tune with His heart. The more you mirror His personality, the more you become the person He has destined you to be. This metamorphosis demonstrates God's capacity to alter lives and bring about genuine regeneration. Finally, the divine summons for change is a call to completely embody your destiny. When you let God mold and refine you, you become an instrument of His glory, ready to change the world in ways you never dreamed. The advantage of becoming the greatest version of yourself extends beyond you. It's part of His larger strategy. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful gifts you can offer to yourself and others. It also plays an important role in the divine calling of the chosen ones. Often, we carry loads of wrath, bitterness, and unforgiveness that prevent us from fully experiencing God's purpose for our lives. However, when we forgive, we relinquish the power of those negative feelings, enabling us to heal and develop freely. Forgiveness does not excuse wrongdoing or overlook the suffering inflicted by others. It is about deciding to let go of the hold that anger and pain have on your heart. When you forgive, you create space for healing, not just in your relationships with others, but also with God. It opens the way to emotional liberation, allowing you to break free from the bonds of hatred and resentment that prevent you from completing your divine destiny. Forgiveness's healing power reflects God's love for us in the same way that God forgives our transgressions. He asks us to forgive those who have harmed us. This act of forgiveness benefits you as well as the other person. Holding grudges merely slows your progress and keeps you entrenched in a negative mindset. When you choose forgiveness, you get a heavenly release that drives you ahead on your path. Forgiveness also permits you to be a source of healing for others. Your example of kindness and mercy might encourage people around you to pursue reconciliation and peace in their own lives. Through forgiveness, you contribute to healing not just for yourself, but for the whole planet. The power of forgiveness enables you to act freely and purposefully, showing God's grace in whatever you do. One of the most difficult components of following your spiritual calling is trusting God's time. In a world that prioritizes quick pleasure, waiting might seem like a test of faith. However, patience is a critical component of your path. God's plan for your life is not a rushed one. It is a meticulously constructed masterpiece, and His timing is always impeccable. There may be times when it seems that your hopes and objectives have been delayed and that the path ahead is lengthy. It's easy to wonder whether God's plan is genuinely unfolding as it should. But remember that God's timeline is not the same as ours. He works behind the scenes, putting everything in order and preparing you for the prospects ahead. The delays you encounter are often divine pauses designed to prepare you for something bigger. In times of waiting, you are encouraged to trust. Trust that God is working in ways you can't see yet. Trust that He is preparing you. Refine your character and use situations to your advantage. The waiting period helps you to develop your faith, endurance, and resilience. It teaches you to trust God's knowledge rather than your own intellect. Finally, trusting God's timetable requires sacrificing your own expectations and accepting the knowledge that God's method is always better. The road He has established for you is not only about getting to your destination, it's about discovering who you are intended to be along the journey. Patience lets you appreciate the trip, trust God's flawless design, and live out His complete purpose for your life. The Chosen One's path centers on living in accordance with God's will. When you are in sync with God's purpose for your life, your choices, behaviors, and relationships will automatically reflect that. Every decision you make, no matter how great or little, has the potential to move you closer or further away from your divine mission. That is why it is critical to live with purpose, making choices that reflect the calling God has put on your life. To be in accordance with God's will, you must pay great attention to what He says. It entails seeking His direction in prayer, studying His Word for knowledge, and being open to the Holy Spirit's leadership. When you prioritize God in all of your decisions, you welcome His presence into them, ensuring that they reflect His design for your life. This alignment is not about perfection, but about submitting your will to His and believing that He will guide you where you need to go. The more you live in accordance with God's will, the more you see His fingerprints in every part of your life. From the connections you nurture to the professional paths you choose, everything starts to fall into place according to His divine design. Even if you face hurdles or failures, you may be certain that they are part of God's plan to purify you and bring you closer to your destiny. Finally, living in accordance with the divine will provide tranquility, satisfaction, and a feeling of purpose. You are no longer living for yourself, but for something bigger than yourself. You become an instrument for God's love, light, and truth, may have a long-lasting influence on people around you.